Well, hello there, ladies and gentlemen. Quick Dutch guy here with some tips for Occupy Mars. Let's dive into it. After the little story, you get into your survival capsule, and here we are. As you can see, I can see through the cupboards, and there's a little trick to that. Trick, it's just a menu option. But show interactables, it says on button press. Well, if you change to always, increase the range a little bit, then everywhere you go you see all the interactables, which is nice, obviously, because sometimes you can miss items, and especially one item you do not want to miss is the abandoned tablet. You'll need that for your tech tree to get further and further and further, because some technology is, well, gate locked by these abandoned tablets. So wherever you see them, grab them, use them, and progress through your tech tree. Also, a little tip for this one is what I usually do is press F5, use the tablet, see what I get, and if I'm not happy with what I'm getting, I can reload the game, use it again, and I will get something else. Now, first off, let's grab all the items right here, because, well, you need them. So yeah, another thing is you can just click on it and then the item will go to your hand, but you can also hold the control key on your keyboard like so, and now it will go instantly to your inventory. Another thing is you can also do Control E. Right now we're outside. First of all, I always change my inventory with this setup. We did pick up the abandoned tablet. You right mouse press it or double click it, whatever you want, and we get the workshop printer, which is something for later on. It's handy dandy. Now, first thing I would suggest is create 1, 2, 3 solar panels. The reason for this is we can then get electricity to the capsule. We will get a quad very soon, and we also want to have a source where we can get electricity for our suit. So let's build it like so. Hook it up to your survival capsule like so. Also, you will get technology points for that, and like in the top you can see I already got a technology point right now. So if you go to here, now you can unlock the transformer ECU when I have built a workshop. I haven't done that yet, but because first we are going to do something different. Secondly, go right here, because I know there's water here, but you can have this little tool that shows us where there is water, and when it indicates 100% you can just click and it will give you the water. Well, lovely. So a quick little thing, on the right bottom corner you see hunger and hydration, and on the left your health, your stamina, and everything that the building right now is using. So it's using 5 electricity and it's producing 6 liters of water. If you're standing in front of it, you can also just slurp some water right here. Just press it. If you have built these two things, right there's an outpost, and there's a little secret. So when you arrive here, you see these wells and everything. Right now you can't scrap the wells. We have a grinder device right here. You can only scrap the boxes like so, right? And you get materials for scrapping. Right now we get a small pipe. You can see that on the left side. Sometimes you try to scrap, but it doesn't really work. I mostly just kneel down right then to get closer to the object. I do hope they will change that a little bit. But the most important thing right here are 2 things, basically. Ta-da! This is your quad. I love it. Now you have to just grab this little circuit board, but it's broken, so we need to get inside of the building, and you do this via the lever right here. Now I suggest you loot all the items that you can see. Now there's also an abandoned tablet. You always want to take those. Another thing, if you see a lamp like this, doesn't matter what, but always scrap them. For some reason, glass is something you don't get very often, but these lamps will give you glass. Now this is what I mean. Sometimes it's kind of tricky to scrap something. It's quite annoying. And what I usually do is just move my mouse all the way and yeah, hope for the best. So after we looted the whole place, we have everything right here. Now we have a few small circuit boards. So just go up to the quad, go right here and say use left mouse click, boom, it's in, and close the hatch right here, enter it, and we are a go. So right here we are charging the quad via the solar panel, which is nice. What do we want to do now? It's a very grindy game, so you either drill or you scrap, and with that you can, well, create resources, and with those resources you can create items, and then you can build up your own base, which is nice, obviously. So you have to decide what you want to do first. You can either go back right there, scrap more boxes, or go for that outpost right there and scrap some more boxes. Scrapping in the early games, when you have a tier 1 item like this, isn't really getting you what you want. I mean, when you have the tier 2 grinder, then you can grind the wells and the solar panels, which will give you solar cells and electronics and all the good stuff. So I would suggest you go out and mine a little bit, or drill with the drill. Do that, get some resources, and when you're done, you get technology points for that. You need those, obviously. So when you do that, just, you know, focus on, I just need resources, and drill, drill, drill. And when you get back, you have a lot of resources. Right behind your base, there are a few rocks that are very special. I mean, I'm saying they are meteorite rocks, because when you drill one, then as you can see, like boom, it says unknown ore, ready to load. It's not ready to load for you, it's ready to load for a rover. But there's inside all of these little pieces, there is a little small rock. With these bigger rocks, that isn't the case. With the bigger rocks, then you can have big lumps of sand, I would say, or rock that doesn't hold any resource for you. Let's say you want to have a little bit more power, sustainable power, that is. This is the start of my solar farm. I use 4 solar panels like this on a row, and there's an accumulator that will accumulate all the power. I do intend to have more rows of these solar panels on this side and on that side as well. So this accumulator will expand a little bit further that way to harvest all the energy. All this energy will go into this accumulator, because right now all the solar panels on the right side will go into this accumulator, that will go into this accumulator, then all the solar panels that will go on this side will go into the accumulator and will also go into this accumulator. This will in effect go to a battery station, which will become a bigger battery pack right here. I usually double pack it, but the battery goes into another accumulator, of which one of the lines will go into the workshop right there. I will get to that. And you can also say, okay, I want one line to the survival capsule. Maybe I want to power up my quad or something. So that's why I do have the accumulator right here. Let's head over to the water station. Right here we are at the water station. There's a pump here, which I have to build. These 3 water wells will go into this one water pump. When this water pump is fixed, this water pump will go into this water pump, and this water pump will go towards this building. Or if you already can build tanks, it will go into a water tank, obviously, to store more water. The basic idea is that I will have 3 more wells here, 3 more wells right there, all connected to a water pump, and those water pumps will go to this water pump. One water well will give you 6, so this is 6, 12, 18, which becomes 36, and so on. So you'll have a lot of water, which is sustainable if there is electricity. You can also, which I would recommend basically, is power the wells up with some energy from your solar panel. You can just do that. Just go bring a power line right here, have multiple accumulators, and power up all these stations so that it's day and night it will create water. Just a little tip to do. Now let's say we are going to build our first workshop. Think about the elevation of the land, right? I personally don't like elevations in my corridors, so what you need to do is build the workshop at the highest point. Why? Because all the corridors connected to the first thing will stay on the same level, which is in effect also very handy, because at some moment when I put a corridor from there to here, I can walk underneath it. Inside the workshop there are a few items necessary. First of all, the workshop right here. You can upgrade your tools, and you really want to upgrade your tools at some point. I mean, the grinder 2 can harvest or scrap water wells and solar panels and such, so you want to invest in this item as quick as possible. You also want a CO2 scrubber. Basically, this will provide some oxygen into this building. And then last but not least, you want these two, and they are beneath the main hab. You want a plant incubator and you want a hydroponic shelf. My advice is don't use them right now, because we at this moment do not have sustainable electricity. I mean, at daytime I get sunlight, so there's electricity, but at night the power will be gone and the plants will wither. So don't plant any plants until you have a sustainable energy source which will go through the night. If you have that, then go and start plant all the plants you want. Right here we have a little device. Here you can see how much energy I am at this moment getting, which is about 44, which is a whole lot. Obviously, we use 15. Here is the water, how much water we have and how much we are using. At some point, we have to supply these buildings or these items with water, with electricity and water. You can just do like this. You know, you can also just go like that, but it's whatever you want. If you have withered plants, by the way, you can grab the withered plants and go to the bin right here and just release them, and those plants will be gone. Another thing about the incubator, if you plant in the incubator, these plants will grow up to 50%, and then you have to replant them into the hydroponic shelf. They will grow quicker inside the incubator, and I believe the quality of the plant will also be better. So it's advisable. Well, that's not good, obviously, but it's a pretty good idea to plant the plants here and then relocate them right there. A little thing, by the way, you see the pressure in, pressure out. Right now this building has electricity, but make sure that you don't use this when there's a lot of difference in the pressure in, pressure out. Because if you use the handle and the pressure is and there's a very big difference in the pressures, then you will be blown out or blown in, and that will hurt. So yeah, just keep in mind that you have to be wary about that. First, get this solar farm in order, get your water in order, and then start about thinking to even grow plants. Throughout the land, you will find different crops to plant. You have pumpkin, you have beet, you have apple, you have a lot of seeds you can plant, obviously. And later on, you will get greenhouses and stuff like that, which is very nice, which also provides you with air, obviously. So yeah, it's quite important to invest in a lot of drilling, a lot of harvesting of electricity, a lot of creating items for your technology points. Then you have to decide what you want to do. You can roam the lands, obviously, and on the lands The map is huge, by the way. A little trick that I use for when I go to an outpost is I loot the place, and when I've looted the place, I can't scrap the place just yet because I don't have the tier 3 scrapper. I right mouse click right here and I put in the name scraps. I have already been here and I looted the place, so I say, all right, scraps. Now let's say I have the tier 3 grinder, grinded everything, then I will just say gone. And when you look at the map like this, you can just fairly quickly see, okay, there's an outpost right there, but there's white text there, so it probably means that I have already been there. Here is an outpost, I haven't been there, so yeah, basically I do know that I need to go there to find the abandoned laptop and also to, you know, loot the place and scrap and grind whatever I can grind. Now, what I usually do is make one waypoint right here. I always go for the green one, but wherever I then stand where in the land, as you can see right now, there's a marker right here, green. If we are far and away from our base and we want to go back to our base, we just have to search for this marker. I have been 12, 13, 14,000 meters away from my base, and that's pretty far. And when you don't have a marker like that, it's pretty difficult to head back to your main base. So, you know, a little tip right there. At one point, you are going to get hopefully the blueprint for one of the things, and that's the heavy rover. When you get the heavy rover, your life will be so much easier. I'm just saying, it's lovely. The rover has its own bed. It has a lot of capacity to store items. It's faster than the quad, which is also very nice. There's a source where you can resupply your suit with electricity, and you can go further and further away. Now let's say you don't have the rover just yet, but you want to go and, you know, go around the lands. There is a technology as well, and that is right here. That is the survival capsule. Make sure if you go far and beyond wherever you want to go, that you are going to have the survival capsule. It's the same building as that building right there. It's just a thing where you can have a rest and also supply yourself with new oxygen. If you go to the map and you see these icons right here, that means that's an indication of water. What I suggest, if you go far, far, far beyond everything, just, you know, like here you have another water spot, for instance, just, you know, put a water well there, you know. You will come back to that one day, and the little tank is filled up with water. You can just slurp your water and be hydrated again, which is nice. And what I usually do is when I go far and beyond to some outpost, the first thing I try to do is create a survival capsule, have water nearby if I need water, but just for safety reasons, that if I get hurt or I need oxygen, that I can supply myself quickly with those with that oxygen that I so much need. But yeah, that's about it basically for the first tips. Just go roam the lands as you like. By the way, this is your starting base. It's exploded. Obviously, there's not a lot of loot. What I could find in my first playthrough, maybe they changed it somehow, I don't know. But when you have a tier 3 grinder, go back. There's a lot to grind there. It's just a grind fest, basically. So yeah, I think that's the first few tips to set you up, to start you off with your own base. I hope you will enjoy playing this game. I had a lot of fun with my first playthrough. I must say I didn't find any abandoned tablets, so that's why I went 12,000, 30,000 meters away from my base. Well, these are a few tips just to get you settled on the Martian lands. Set up your electricity, set up your water, get a few plants. I mean, in all honesty, food isn't a big problem if you go to all the outposts. There's a lot of food in those outposts. So food isn't really a problem when you start out. But yeah, so far, I hope you learned something, and I hope you enjoyed watching this video. I had tons of fun playing this game, and I do hope they will keep on evolving this game. One thing to the developers, the jetpack is like, do something with how you control the jetpack. I would say maybe instead of the jetpack, create a Jetson Arrow instead, which is a little vehicle that can fly around, which is more like a drone basically. But I mean, the jetpack, oh my god, I died so many times flying that jetpack. It's insane. Plus it's not really faster. Okay, that's it. Thank you for watching. Take care. Have a good day. Bye bye.